Welcome back, Lisa here, and I'm going to show you how to make your very own pattern pieces out of existing clothes. This is a great way to begin learning to sew. You don't have to worry about cutting out a bunch of paper and figuring out all that extra special stuff. All you need is a very basic shape, and you essentially deconstruct it and then put it back together with your own fabric of choice. So I'm going to use this cute little tank top as an example. It's nice and simple, just a front and a back. So what I would do is just line it up. I don't even need to worry about my fabric being on the fold. Actually, okay, we'll worry about the fabric being on the fold. So all I would do is lay out my tank top with the front of the fabric. So I'm going to ignore this back part for now. And I would draw a line. So lining up my fabric right in the middle. So let's just fold it ourselves. And I would draw a line around where this front fabric is. So I would draw it out. And then I would dip down here because I just want the front. And I would do the same thing for the back. And since I already used up my fold here and I have all this extra space, I would actually probably fold this fabric along the fold twice so that we have this way and this way, because I really hate wasting fabric. And since the fold is so important, I'm gonna fake it. So I would do it along the fold here, like I just said, and then I would also find my back and have that along the fold, and I would trace it here. And before I would cut it out, you have to add a seam allowance. That's very important to remember when sewing. If we didn't add a seam allowance, it would be too small. To add seam allowance, you will need your pencil and either your clear grid ruler or your seam gauge. And essentially what you would do is you have your fabric laid out. I'm just going to draw a fake line since we're not actually cutting it. But let's say that beautiful straight line is the edge of your fabric. To create your seam allowance, you would just take your grid ruler and line it up along that edge. I'm doing that at the 5/8 inch mark. You draw a new line. This new line that you just drew, let's say this is your t-shirt, shirt, or tank top, I guess is what we're working with. This new line is what you want to cut out. And you can also do the same thing with your seam gauge. I'm gonna find my 5/8 inch, and I would line that up and know that this is my cut line, this is my actual fabric. So now you know how to make your very own pattern pieces out of existing pieces of clothing. You will apply this technique during our final project, but first you must know how to cut out real pattern pieces, the ones made from paper. Stay tuned. Now it's time to learn about real pattern pieces, how to cut them out, and how to mark them so that you can make anything.